Let's show you a live look at the state capitol. Tomorrow, California state lawmakers are voting on a special election in November that would let you vote on new Democratic-leaning congressional maps. Texas is trying to do the same there at the president's request to send more Texas Republicans to Congress.
And California lawmakers today were expected to analyze the cost of the special election. Our KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala has been tracking all of this for us, and she's been at the Capitol all day joining us with an update. Ash?
Yeah, well, that update is that we are less than 24 hours from that major vote at the state capitol, yet state leaders are still not saying how much money the special election will cost you, the taxpayer. Republicans say the state can't afford it. Democrats say the state can't afford President Donald Trump having so much power.
Is this a blank check, or do we have the dialed-in approach to how much funding is going to all of our county elections clerks?
The cost of California's likely upcoming special election front and center at the state capitol Wednesday. Governor Gavin Newsom's Department of Finance told lawmakers they're still working with state elections officials on nailing down a final number. The final vote to spend the money hours away.
It's a developing issue right now, and we are working with the Secretary of State to develop a schedule.
California is in a budget deficit, and it's unclear where the money would come from. Democrats argued federal money could be on the line if more Democrats aren't sent to Congress.
This is an investment to our Californians that we owe. I totally understand that we have to ensure that we safeguard our budget, and I appreciate that. But this is a time where dollars at the federal level are at stake, and Medi-Cal, Medicaid, a plan supporting health care for our Californians. So in this case, we will make that investment to protect democracy.
The redistricting special election is expected to cost at least $200 million, which is how much the state spent on the last statewide election in 2021. That was Governor Gavin Newsom's recall.
It's not about whether we play hardball anymore. It's about how we play hardball.
The governor preparing for the redistricting special election he's been pushing, confident California lawmakers will put new, politically drawn maps on the ballot that could strip 5 Republican congressmen from their offices and replace them with Democrats.
Our legislature is going to come back today, and they're going to get the job done tomorrow. And we're going to go in front of the voters. We'll be back in front of the voters in the most transparent and democratic way.
Another cost California leaders will need to account for: court battles. Republicans sued Tuesday, and on Wednesday they called for an investigation into which state lawmakers could be securing their own seats in Congress with a yes vote on Thursday.
All of those questions are the reasons why the citizens took the power away from the politicians in the first place in 2010. They do not want politicians engaging in election map manipulation.
So I've been checking in with the Secretary of State's office on those costs. Today, a spokesperson there referred me to Governor Newsom's Department of Finance, saying they would be the one to release that final number. A spokesman with the Department of Finance told me they would get back to me with more information, but as of this moment, no update yet.
And you mentioned the lawsuits. The Republicans wanted the state Supreme Court to get involved to stop all of this, and there was a short deadline that they wanted the state Supreme Court to answer them. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, still actually nothing on that. I just checked the court filings, and there's been no movement from the state Supreme Court. Republicans and their attorneys requested the court make a decision by today on whether the legislature violated the Constitution by immediately taking up this proposal to get these maps to you on the ballot instead of waiting for a month. We'll keep you posted on that. I keep refreshing, but we're almost at the end of business day, so it may look like the court needs a little more time.
So even if Texas doesn't do this, though, it's still going to happen if any other state does it.
It looks like even if whatever Texas does, this is going on the ballot. But the question that California voters will be asked is, will you allow these maps to go into effect if Texas or any other state, there is no Republican or Democratic, any other state redraws its lines within this decade?
So you could have Democrats in other states redrawing their lines too, and ours would go into effect
under the way,
the
under the way the legislation is written. Yes.
Wow. Okay.